Okay, gonna give it a second for everyone to pop back in because we just ended and started like 4 times in a row. So. This time. Okay, I think we're good this time. So let's see. Hopefully people refresh or whatever, and then we'll be good to go. Hello again. I think we're good this time. I switched back to the YouTube one. So. Yeah, that's what I figured. I wanted to try out a new software, but I'll play around with it when I have some more free time. I'd rather just stream now and go back to play around with it later, like I said. So basically what I'm going to work on now is my Bullpup Rapidstrike. Like I was talking about before, the stock wasn't very comfortable, or it was comfortable, but it didn't fit the build. So I got this Praxis stock, which is a pretty good one as well. So I'm going to be taking this apart, trying to fit that back here. And then to sort of blend the tops together, I'm thinking using a section of the Longshot front gun, and then I might see if I can use part of the bottom to act as the larger grip, because this grip is a little small. So yeah, just switch back to the YouTube one, which I know how to use. So we're going to lose one camera, but it's not a big deal. No, it's just my voice. So. And it is all good. Just have a strange voice, I guess. But yeah, let's start with the Praxis. That's probably the easiest. Also, the audio in the basement isn't the greatest. I did a lot with the lighting, but there's some other stuff for the house down here, like the heater and the water heater and all that stuff that makes noise. So that adds to my weird voice, but it's mostly just my voice. Let's see. Nah, it's fine. All good. So let's see. What are you guys up to today? Oh, it's one piece. It's not the green piece. Oh, it's just like a shell piece over the. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's cool. I think the. Why does that not want to open? Let's see. Portugal and have a 3D. Wow. Thanks for watching from Portugal. Then. So I got a few of these Praxis, or 2 more specifically, of these Praxis stocks. This one's the worst condition one, but I figured I'll use the bad one because I'm going to be integrating it anyway. Yeah, that was the only thing I was going to say is the. I would think that from what I've seen, it tends to be a little rough on the mega darts. Why does this not want to open? Don't want to scratch this up too much, but it seems like it's stuck. Which is kind of weird. Come on. Screws out too, which is weird. Oh, there we go. Come on. Try not to warp this plastic. Sometimes with this one seems to have a little water in it, which is, I guess, why it's not coming apart. Seems to have, or water damage rather. Yeah, sure. I could show off some of my stuff. Actually, I was doing a video series for a little bit about 3D printed Nerf parts that are like good and bad and trying them, but I haven't done an episode of that in a while. I'm thinking about bringing it back, maybe as a weekly thing. Actually, let me go grab my caliber, and I just finished that. So that's probably the biggest 3D printed project I worked on recently. Where'd the chat go? So let's see. Yeah, I was thinking about doing more 3D printed videos. I haven't done one in a while. So this is my Caliburn, which I just finished. I bought the hardware kit, and then I did all the printing myself. So I did a lot of the sort of optional pieces. Yeah, it's pretty big. I went with the other barrel, which is a standard Caliburn one, is a little shorter. It probably ends like right around where the edge of the shroud is, because it has a little piece you could put on, or the scar barrel. I went with the 18-inch barrel, and it seems to be getting much better FPS. So I'm bringing this guy to APOC, which is a war that happens in Northeast, and it's a pretty large one. I went for the first time last year, so a lot of fun. But now that the Caliburn's much more popular, I figured I'd print one out and give it a shot. It's a very fun blaster to use. I'm actually using the K25 instead of the K26. And with the longer barrel, it's outperforming the standard barrel and a K26. I think Slug says it's around 195 to 200 with a normal barrel and a K26. And then this one is about 245 with the 4 inches of extra barrel and a weaker spring. So it's very easy to prime. So you could shoot it a lot, which is nice because that's a fairly long event. So I did it's about 5 types of filament. So I didn't use a full spool of any filament, but I used a little bit of a lot of different spools. So it's got black, the light blue, and the white and the orange are all PLA. And then there's some bits that are like the load-bearing ones, like the spreader and the sear for the trigger, which catches the plunger, are both black PETG because I wanted them to be a bit stronger. But yeah, I did a lot of the extra pieces, like I did the insert, the thumb hole grip, the shroud, and the whatever you want to call this. He calls it like the railgasm kit. So this is all one piece, and then the shrouds are both one piece as well. So this is the Argus one. He has one, but it's all one color, and I kind of like, this is a little older, but I liked it better because you could do like a two-tone. So I did like the front is a little orange piece. The majority of the rail is black, as you can see, and then I did the sides in blue to match the main body. And then I did like the thumb hole grip. It's pretty comfortable. But yeah, this blaster is quite large. Let's see. I'll just put it on the side for now. But yeah, I just got some katana mags coming in the mail, so I'm going to try it out with that as well. I have the Worker 15-round hex mags, which I like a lot, but I wanted to try out the katana mags because they're much smaller. You can fit a lot of them pretty easily. So I'm going to try that with short darts, but it does work with the full-length darts as well. The the shotgun turret, like the mega one that has, or the spring fire, whatever it's called, something, spring thunder. That one. I assume that's the one you're talking about. Now that I think about it. Okay, so let's put these in a bag. Yeah, the that one. That one looks pretty cool. Is that also by Mr. Heath Pants, or is that someone else? Because I was looking at some of his stuff today. And I want to print the new. He made a whatever, the desert pigeon and a few other small ones. Yeah, I think that's the whatever spring thunder one. It's pretty cool. Magnet. I always think that these screwdrivers are magnetic because they have the weird tips, but they did not come with magnetic tips, which was a little disappointing. So I usually just slap a magnet on the screwdriver. I want to see too if I can. Basically, my plan for this is to get the top of the long shot front gun to sort of line up with that. And then you can see it'll sort of go up and over, and then that'll become my flat top because I need a little more space up here for the flywheel. And then flat top it back into the stock back here. But then for the bottom, I was thinking I might salvage parts of the bottom of this, maybe cut it on the same angle back in, and then we can maybe use the same grip as like a grip up here. It would be a little more comfortable. So we'll see how that plays out. Right now it's just held together with hot glue because I'm still trying out pieces. Glue it together with some kind of plastic welder. I like the Loctite variant, but some people like to use like DevCon or some other stuff like that. So right now it's just hot glue, and then I use isopropyl alcohol to remove that very easily. So if I want to change a part or something like that, I can do that pretty easily. So we just got to take this apart, and we'll get cutting in a second. So that's sort of my idea. I want to see how it's going to work out because there's going to be a weird gap area in there that I need to get rid of. We'll see. This has definitely been a figure it out as I go sort of build. Usually, I know people like to plan this stuff out, but this one has definitely been a figure it out as I go kind of build, which is fine, I guess. But I guess it depends on the person too. Like I know some people definitely wouldn't want to scrap a bunch of different shells to figure out what they want to build, but I don't really mind that much. It's for the name of science. Yeah, this one's definitely turned out to be a fun build so far. I mean, I've been working on it for a while and it's still in the beginning stages, but it'll get there eventually. Plus, I guess a good part about this build is because it's so many blasters, it'll definitely be very unique. I've seen a lot of Bullpup Rapidstrikes lately, and they all sort of look the same. So this one will definitely be a little better. And these are beefy screws in the back of this. Although I guess it makes sense because this is where the attachment point is, so you'd want the shell to be fairly stable towards the back. You know, one thing I haven't even thought about that I'm just thinking about now is where the barrel placement's going to have to go. I should really try to line it up with the front section of the crossfire if I want to save myself some time later. But I have the feeling I'll forget and then have to change the front later. So we'll see how that goes. Forgot that there were this many screws in the long shot front gun. Although I think, what is it? When I got this one, it came without the handle too. So someone probably opened it already. I forget what people used to take like Titan tanks and make like super minimized stuff with the you take like a long shot front gun. I forget what it was, like a PVC. It was like Chimera. I forget. It was, okay, let's see. Stuff. Don't need it. The top bits. Let's see, we don't need most of this, so we can just throw it out. Or the scrap bin, rather. Man, that's a lot of screws. All these screws are for the front gun. It's nuts. So we'll keep that. Keep this guy towards the back. Come on. Like I said, I think some of these blasters had some water damage. They're definitely sticking together. Don't care about that. Don't need that. Don't need this. Don't need that. Let's see. This guy's got to come out. Come on. There we go. Got that guy, which we'll keep. I guess we can keep that. There's a spring up here, which we might need. Keep that. Set that aside. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, let's keep all these guys. Yeah, I actually cut up this Raven without even shooting it. It went straight out of the box and pretty much got cut up, which I know would probably upset some people as well. But the handle for the Raven is so much nicer than the Rapidstrike one, and it fit pretty well. So I figured it would be a good choice. So I'll keep all those screws separate right now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to go to my scroll saw in a second, but I want it basically right there, and I'll sort of flatten it down. Should be pretty easy. So I'm gonna step away for a second and we'll do that. Yeah, that's the plan right now. I'm gonna chop off this top section, and I want to go from basically line it up with that line, sort of see how it looks going back up to here, and then I got my new stock. I'll hopefully be able to flat top it from this long shot section down to here. I must have some fabrication for that, but I don't really care too much. If it's cool. So I'm gonna go cut this real quick, and I will be back in a second. Okay, now that's pretty much cut. I usually cut a little bit too big and then I grind back. Helps me get a little cleaner cuts. But we'll trim that down in a second. But basically, that's sort of what I'm going for right there. Then I'm not sure what I want to do at the bottom. That's kind of neat. But I also want to see maybe if I cut this guy on an angle. So cut that sort of the opposite direction. I can sort of work some of that in here. Or maybe have the grip just right on there. But I kind of want it to cover this section because it's not that comfortable. But that would be a cool grip too. I don't know. I got to play around with it. But for right now, let's work on one thing at a time. I think, yeah, my hot glue gun's plugged in. We're good to go. Let me just trim this down real quick and then we'll get going. Okay, let's see. I just got the flex shaft for my Dremel too, so it's kind of interesting. I like it so far. Definitely makes it more maneuverable, but I think you lose a little bit of power, which makes sense. I didn't. What's up? Right now we're just working on my Bullpup Rapidstrike. I'm trying to line some stuff up. Actually, let me fix some slight issues with these guys real quick. Come on, come off. So I got to take off these nubs too while I'm at it. Dremel warning again. Okay, so yeah, I was having an issue where the little nubs on this were pushing away from the blaster, and it should sit a little more flat like that now, which is good. I'm going to have to chop off some more of that long shot front gun. But the profile I'd like to go for something along those lines. I think would look really cool. Because then that gives me a good transition between the two blasters. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty cool. We're off to a good start. That gives me a really... Actually, wait, let me glue it on and then we'll see what we think. But that gives me a good transition between this low area and then this higher area up here. I'm going to have to do some more fabrication on the back to really drag that back. But so far, I like the idea. So, actually, wait, I want to see too the thickness of this section is going to be important. So I'm going to have to trim out the inside a bit as well, but I think it could fit. Oh, it's fine. Thanks for popping by. So yeah, I think it fits pretty well so far, but I wanted to sit a little lower. Then we'll... Not sure if I want to... Nah, I think it looks better if I was going to say I could fabricate a section between the two, but... Okay. So I have to chop the back a little bit. Oh yeah, I have a Facebook page. I think it's in the links of most of my videos. I'm trying to be more active on there. I usually do Instagram in terms of like account social medias, but I'm gonna try to post on Facebook a little more. Yeah. Feel free to hit me up on that page. So I gotta trim that a little. But like I said, thanks for stopping by. So I think that's pretty neat. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it still has a very long way to go, but we'll get there. And I got to figure out how I want to do the grip too. I'm not sure if I even want to use this grip, but since I have it and it's right here, you know, might as well consider it. But I might have to integrate some more of the bottom of the long shot front gun to make that a bit better. But I can worry about that later. For right now, I think I'm going to remove this glob of hot glue real quick, and then we'll re-glue this back on, and then we'll see about fitting this top rail on. See ya. Q-tips. Let's see, we got Q-tips, got some pliers. Nice and clean. So glad I learned about that trick. It makes it so much easier to remove the hot glue. I could just grab a paper towel real quick if I can find the roll that I just opened. Okay, let's see. We're gonna glue this piece back on real quick. Wait, let me just grab that. That's the only thing that's gonna stink is once I get this blaster pretty much how I want it, I'm gonna have to take it all apart and glue it back together with real glue, which is gonna be a pain, but it's worth getting the prototyping phase out of the way with a temporary adhesive. I broke my hot glue gun too, so we're using a spare one. Okay. So I want that line to pretty much sit right there. And then this hot glue gun is also on the way out. So okay, let's see. We got that piece. I'm going to give that a second to dry, but I want the line to basically run down along that edge, and then it'll go into this blaster, and then this will sort of tie it back together. So I think to do this, I'm going to have to remove that nub completely on both sides. I might need to drill, or not drill, but remove a little material on this, so that way it could sit down a little further. Yeah, I have to remove that nub too. I'll do one at a time though. I'm going to use the Dremel again, so fair warning to headphone users. Okay, fell forward a little bit. Stampede into a Raven would be interesting. Definitely would bulk up the front of the Raven a lot, but it would be pretty cool. I think I'm going to have to actually remove more material. So realistically, I should be working with it as a piece. And I just need it to go down further. So until about there, I need to remove some of this internal material. So like that area really needs to get trimmed down. And sort of the same thing with here. I need to bring it in a bit. So let me see, let me get my square real quick. So this is actually going to take more dremeling than I anticipated, but we're in it to win it now. I'm just going to start by getting rid of some of this excess. We don't have to be perfect, but sort of something like that. You guys can see. Oh, there we go. So we're going to trim that back, and then that back, and then we can sort of make that. I like how it has all these little extra sort of, whatever you want to call them, weird shaped holes. So it has some there, 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 and there. So if I put LEDs into this blaster later, it should look pretty cool. Okay, let's get back to dremeling real quick. Let me switch bits. I need the cutting wheel, probably would be easier for this guy. Okay, drum warning again. Okay. Oh, thanks. The pink one, right? Or the I guess that's 2 years. Wow, is that 2 years ago? Or the blue and silver one? That one was probably at least 2 years ago. Actually, probably see how much I made. Yeah. Okay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm actually redoing the pink and purple one. It had a few small hairline cracks from transportation back from N-War the year before, so it's actually stripped down right now, and I'm repainting it. Doing a little corrective body work, but it's not something that I had to do. But that's probably one of my favorite blasters, so I don't mind spending more time on it to make sure that it lasts a long time. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit now. Got a lot of burrs and other stuff in there. Okay. Gotta remember to keep this stuff on camera, too. Let's see. Let's see. Clean up all this real quick. Might have to trim it a little more, but we'll see in a second. Just want to clean up the edges real quick so that we don't have a crazy amount of bird plastic and all that stuff. Yeah, I think that might have been my first live stream. I was working on, was tearing that apart. I don't know. I usually unlist my live streams after a few days because I want people to see like the actual videos I make when I go to my channel. But I don't live stream enough for that to be a huge. Oop. Ah, darn! I put that right on top of the hot glue stick. Well, that one's done. Okie dokie. Probably got to trim this guy out a little more. I should, like I said before, I really need to work with this as a piece, I think, to get the alignment correctly. So let's just keep it together for now. I think I'm gonna have to lose all the screw ports for this top piece to get that to fit the way I want it to. Or I can trim the green blaster. Actually, I should probably trim the green blaster, to be honest. I don't want to lose those screw ports because that's going to really hold the top of the blaster together. Plus, it holds that extra piece in, and I kind of want that. So I think, realistically, I'm going to have to take the top of that green blaster off and sort of work my way down. Sort of work that in. So probably going to do that off stream just because that's going to involve me taking the whole blaster apart again. So let's work on the bottom maybe for a little bit. I'm not sure what I wanted, or the stock, I guess, would work too. So I definitely like how that top looks with this. You can see that working well. Now for the back section, not sure how I want to integrate this, but I think I want it to look something like that. We have the top of the blasters right about there. Maybe the stock goes right about there. Probably gonna have to trim that off. I don't know, sitting there somehow. Not sure how that's gonna fit, to be honest. But that's part of the fun of this, I suppose. Just wait. So yeah, we'll put the stock back in probably later as well. And that can sit over there. Okay, I think it's sort of taking a little more shape now. I got to figure out realistically if I want to use sections of this as well, because I might be able to. I don't want to cover the trigger is the issue, but I want to have a better grip. So having something like that would be cool, because then it plays off of the lines, and then the front would also play off of that section. So it sort of all comes together. Not sure. But then that could also, if I take a section of this at least. Might be able to custom fabricate something too. You know, for this blaster, I haven't decided on a paint job. I want to see what it looks like when it's done, but it'll probably be something weathered. I was thinking maybe like a bright color, like a yellow, like and a silver and black perhaps, and then just like weather it, and then give it some LEDs because it has a lot of cool areas like those little grates there, and on this top piece now. So something like that perhaps, but I really haven't decided. Definitely something weathered though, because when you're working with this many shells, the weathering will help to blend it together a bit better. Might hide some of the lines a bit better, depending on how clean my integration turns out. So if I trim some of this down, I can realistically I'll probably trim it along that line. So it'll sit in there, and then it'll cover all that area up, which will be good. Because that's one of my I guess 2 problem areas left. 3, if you count the stock. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting, I think. But I definitely like how that looks. Sort of bulks it up, and then it tapers down into that, which will be cool. It's going to be a lot of sanding. Oh, no problem. What's up, Neo? I'm sure someone just crashed a car. Yeah, I kind of figured that was a joke, but I'm sure someone's crashed their car in a dealer lot, though. That'd be pretty unfortunate. Although I guess it's already on your insurance policy at that point. But I think I'm reading too much into that. So anyway, for those of you guys who are just joining, I'm playing around with how I want this Bullpup Rapidstrike to lay out. So far I've chopped up a long shot front gun, and I'm sort of thinking that I want the top to sit something like that. Running out of hands to hold this. So top to sit something like that, if it'll stay. The grip, I'm not sure how I want to integrate this, but having a grip down here would be very comfortable. I'll have to use sections of the bottom of the front gun to sort of blend that in a bit better and hold it on. But that shouldn't be too bad. And then for the stock, I'm going to switch to, I think, the Praxis stock over the Firefly. It's a bit slimmer, so it'll match the profile a bit better. But I'm thinking this is probably the piece I need to transition the blaster, which I might actually need. I have other ones of these, but I might need to use 2 of these. So like one for here, and then I need a second section of basically this to go here. So we're just kind of adding to the body count at this point of blasters that have been sacrificed for this one, but it'll be cool. Hopefully, when it's finished. Still not sure how I want to do the stock area, because there's a big width difference between that and that. So. Yep, yeah, this will probably be a 3S lipo build. I just ordered some of I was originally going to, I wasn't sure about the shell size, so I got Neo Rhinos to use with it. But I might try out Valkyrie motors, the new like foam blast out of darts ones, which this sort of adds to my collection of motors that I bought to use for a project and then never used, which I unfortunately have a lot of. Like, those are all various groups of motors. So I got 4 sets of OG fangs that I'm not sure will get used. I'll use them for something, I guess. Some of the special N-War fangs revamped, and then some Michelle 2.0s. Then over here, I have these are Wolverines, which I was going to use for my other ones, for my Eclipse build, but the fangs revamped came out. I got some original Hellcats. I have Neo Hellcats in a DRS cage right now that I haven't put in anything yet. Got more MTB. Got 3 Honey Badgers and 3 of the Rhinos, which were actually originally Neo Rhinos, which were going to be for these. But I think I'm going to try out the Valkyrie ones because they have ball bearings as well. Kraken, I think, are the same. Or the Kraken and the Valkyrie. Oh, no, I meant Kraken. I bought the nicer ones, which I believe are the Krakens. And then the Valkyrie are the cheaper option. I got the ones with the ball bearings because I wanted to test them out. So yeah, I mixed up the names, my bad. But yeah, I want to try out. Like I said, I was originally going to use the Neo Rhinos, but I might switch to the Valkyrie ones. So I'm going to try them out and see how they work first. Luckily, I have a Strife set up now with a Dean's connector, so I could just swap them out. It'll be really easy to swap cages. I have a printer, and then I have a few of the Morpheus guides lying around, so it's really easy to print off a flywheel cage, slap one of those in, and then I have a few sets of spare flywheels lying around. So pretty easy to. Yeah, the Kraken was the ones I bought 5, 2 to try out in a flywheel setup, and then 3 for this, hopefully. So I'm gonna try those and the Neo Rhinos, and we'll see which ones I like better. But I want to do a 3S build, so that way I can use it on 3S and it'll perform pretty well. And then I can swap to 2S if I need to undervolt it, and maybe use it at an HVZ event with a lower cap. So that's why I like the idea of a 3S better for this build. I mean, you probably could take an airsoft gun and put Strife internals into it. It's not that hard. Ideally, though, you'd want something thicker than the Strife, so that way you can keep the pusher mech. Or unless you were going to use like a Rapidstrike pusher or something to do that. But I think it's possible. You just need to find the right shell, I guess. So I'm debating now. So I'm going to need to trim the top of this shell. I think I'm pretty much settled on this as a design because I really like this transition back to a higher thing, but I'll probably need to knock off or get a second one of these and then just take like that section and then put it here. And then that'll transition me all the way back. And then I can fill in the rest with like epoxy sculpt. What do you guys think? You like that? Wait, I'll try to hold it from this side. I kind of like how that profile looks. I think that could work. But like I said before, I need this screw posts to not. Yeah, I was looking at the Hades stock. Actually, I just took mine apart right before I started live streaming because I was filming that video. And then I think I'm just going to 3D print a whole new section for my Hades stock because it's really terrible. But luckily, I was able to remove the ratcheting lock in the Hades, which was one of my biggest gripe about it. So I'm glad that was a lock and not a feature of the priming mech. I forget. I know people were talking about that. But glad that was easy to remove. Oh, Nick, this isn't final yet. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the grip, and I wanted the top section of this rail. So basically what I would like to do is sort of line that up and then use that as my transition from the lower blaster into the top blaster. But I think I need to use 2 of these to get that section to go all the way back. And then I could just throw like a Picatinny rail from like there to there. And then I did get the Praxis stock. So I had to figure out how I want to do that as well. But yeah, originally this was going to be a really short blaster, but the more I work on it, the longer it gets. So it's definitely adding up. But I kind of like that transition between the low area and the top area. I just need to grind out a little more of this so that it fits. Like I said, I'm on the fence because if I want this to work, I need to start trimming this green section because I want to keep these screw ports at the top. Yeah, no, that's what I might actually under grip because since I removed the stock section, which I definitely think looks better without the long shot stock, but I need something down here to sort of transition it back into this and then also a grip. So I was thinking, since I might need to cut up 2 of the front guns anyway, I might put a front gun section down here too. But it would need to be trimmed such that the trigger is not in the way. But I'm not sure. One problem at a time. I'm going to deal with the top first. But Nick, what do you think about the top area up here? So it sort of goes from, I'm going to have to fill in a lot of that with Boxy Sculpt, but I kind of like how it would basically play off that line, continue to sort of line it up such that the line from this carries through to the top, and then it sort of goes along the back rail of the blaster. So you're going to use a Stampede. I'm going to read chat for a second, so one sec. Use a Stampede with pieces of the blaster for the Hades. Yeah, I think the Stampede and the, I don't know, I'd have to try it out. But like I said, I'm glad that the Hades stock is a separate piece so that I can just 3D print it and have something that's actually comfortable. What's up, Noah? Thanks for stopping by. See, that look awesome with white paint job. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I definitely want to put LEDs in this blaster because of all the like little grill sections that are going to be up here. And then there's a lot of hollow space up here, so it should be pretty easy to put LEDs in this build. Although I was thinking, I'm not sure what color I want to paint it yet, but I'm going to, get there when I get there, pretty much. Let's see what I want to do. Yeah, I'm not sure because I gotta see how comfortable this would be too. It all depends too on where the stock goes because this piece is up here. And the stock is approximately where the Rapidstrike stock would be. I think the Picatinny rail would line up a nice height for like a red dot sight or something. Actually, I just put a red dot sight on my Caliburn. Oh, wait, let me pull that guy back up real quick. Nick, I finally have a blaster for APOC, even though it's not a homemade. So I put the 18-inch barrel on. I just need a scar barrel, and then we're good to go. And then I'm going to hopefully make an extra blaster too as a backup for APOC. But for right now, this is hopefully what I'll be running. Yeah, I guess it's, well, I mean, yeah. I went with a lot of the extra stuff, like I think the, whatever you want to call this piece, the thumb grip and I like the Argus Shroud a little better than the Slugs one, just because you could do like two-tone, whereas his is all one color, and I think it looks a little bland, so I think it's cool enough. I wish they released the rest of the Argus kit instead of just the front, but I mean, this is sort of close enough to their CQB one. Only I put an 18-inch barrel on, so it's nowhere near the length of a CQB. That's true, I guess. If Slug makes it, it's close enough. Yeah, the other thing too is I kind of wanted to just flat top it along the lines like we were talking about, but the flywheel sticks up to about there, and that means I have to fabricate that whole area up anyway. Unless I guess I can grind out the inside of the Picatinny rail, but then that's kind of a pain as well. Yeah, that's what I was debating about, because I'm not sure if I want one Picatinny rail that goes like that whole length from like there to there, because that's a lot of very flat section, whereas this sort of breaks it up a little. So you would have a section of Picatinny rail down here, and then it goes up about whatever that is, like an inch or so. And then you have another Picatinny rail that's maybe about a foot long instead of just like a 18-inch question. So yeah, I'm debating on if I want one rail or two, basically. at this point. So that's why I'm kind of hesitating to cut this section, because to get this to fit there and keep the screw ports, I need to trim into that. But then if I'm going to flat top it, then I kind of need that. Want to get a Caliburn, but I won't go to any wars. I need. Yeah, I mean, it's after firing the Caliburn, I see why it's so popular. It's very fun. I would recommend what I did with mine is I switched the barrel to the longer barrel. Instead of the 14, I'm using an 18-inch barrel. And then with a K25, I'm still hitting like 245 FPS, which is like better than the K26 in the shorter barrel. And it'll save my arm for the length of APOC, which will be nice. Wider part of the top long shot front gun does help blend the thickness of the blaster's interior parts. Mostly I'm analyzing. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing I was concerned about too, is if you look at it from the top, right? This is very thin. I like the profile from this angle, but it's very thin in the front. So I fixed this one. This one still has the nubs on it, so I got to take it off and glue it, but it should be closer to the, like this one is a little closer to that body. That one should be, but it's just got a little nub sticking out that I didn't realize until after. But it's only hot glued on for now, so it doesn't really matter. But from a top perspective, right, I think that looks pretty, that definitely blends together pretty well. So I think that that might be a winner. And sort of transitioning, like that's near identical. So like from that perspective, it'll line up pretty well. But then also it helps to really make it like a top. So I think that works in my opinion. So I think I think I've sort of convinced myself to do this. I think I could, yeah. So I think I'm going to go with this route. I've sort of convinced myself now because it really blends the top together way better, because it looks way better than like that. If I were to just flat top it, you'd have a weird section that sort of sticks out along here. Yeah, the bottom actually blends together fairly well. I can do something to sort of see it. The grip was more just because this isn't a very comfortable grip. So like when you're shouldering it, although I guess once I fill in some of the sections, it might be kind of comfortable. But from the bottom section, it does flow fairly decently. It sort of goes out, and then the Centurion barrel helps to drag it back into there. So. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see, if there was some kind of shell that I could use that just basically makes this a little longer, because it's very, like you can see, it's very short, and I don't want to grab the trigger, obviously. And that's the issue I'm having, is my pinky sort of wants to wrap around into the trigger area. So I'm trying to see if there's maybe something I could use that would be about this thickness and just sort of go from there to there. So that way it gets rid of, I mean, I could sand those off too, but I just want it to be a little longer, not necessarily wider. Let me read chat real quick. Oh, looks good so far. I'm worried my granddad will take. Yeah, I don't think it would do that much damage. Shells are comfortable. Yeah, I actually bought some I bought 2 Praxis stocks for like $20 on buy sell trade the other day, like 20 shipped, which I thought was pretty good. So I got that. It's a very comfortable stock. I see why people like it so much. So I'm thinking that if I get a second long, I have another long shot front gunner too I could chop up. So do one there. I'll do a second section of that just right behind it to sort of drag it back into the stock. And then I just got to figure out how exactly I want to make the transition for the top. The bottom doesn't necessarily matter so much, because I want to do a plate that covers basically from this area and just drags it back, because I want to store the lipo in the back. So yeah, I just got to see how I want to do the top section. or what that would, I guess if I used the long shot front gun, right, like it would end right about there, and I would just need something to sort of step it down. Because what the thickness of, oh geez, that's really close. Yeah, I'll have to grab one of the flared magwells, especially because I think I want the plate to sit a little lower than the magwell, depending on where the stock sits, because I want a little bit of space for the battery. So flared magwell I think would help a lot. Even though you won't see it, I think the flare will help reloading a lot. Although Tungsten also has one, which I can print right now. So I might try that as well, because his stuff is pretty cool. Also, what is this? I was talking to Bobo about this, but he really likes the Tungsten one because it goes in and it sort of covers up the wire well. So it makes it very easy to shove a bunch of wires back there and it would work. I'm not sure. I don't think the looks would be too important because it might be covered by the plate anyway. So we'll see. Put some rail on the bottom and then a vertical grip. Yeah, that could work. Put like something like an angled. Although at that point, I'm not sure if you'd have enough room because there's a little curve right around here, as you can see. So the section of rail would only really be there, and you'd sort of need a vertical. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Using two of the front sections, sort of that. See, I feel like I don't get as much done when I live stream, but I like talking to people about the build. So I think that that's pretty much going to go like that. We'll get a second one, and then we can transition into the stock. Thanks for the suggestion of the Praxis stock, by the way, Nick. It's pretty comfortable. Blend the Raven because it's slower, like the BSP one. Yeah, that's also true. If it's a resin cast piece, I wouldn't feel bad about like gluing it on. Whereas a 3D printed part, I really wouldn't want to be stuck there full time. What's up, Pirate? How's it going? Actually, just got a new pirate flag the other day. Usually I try to get ones when we go on vacation. So I got a Blackbeard one to add to my collection along that back wall section, which actually the wall is just made of flags, but sort of helps with the sound a bit. Just unchained my work shackle. Yeah, so just to catch you up real quick, I'm working on the Bullpup Rapidstrike, as you can see. Thinking about, so looks like what I'm going to do is take the section of the long shot front gun, then we'll integrate that at the top. I might kill a second one just to drag it back all the way. And then we could do sort of two layers of Picatinny rails, maybe one here, and then another one along the top towards the back of the stock. Going to swap out or I already did swap out the stock from a Firefly to a Praxis, which will sort of nest in there. And then we'll help, hopefully, by the second front gun. We'll sort of bring that there. A little bit of body work required. And then we're just debating about sort of what to do with the grip. And then this also helps it really transition on the top, too. So sort of completes the top from going like that to these stick out a little too much, but yeah. Yeah, no, thanks for stopping by, Nick. I appreciate it. Definitely not distracting me. I feel like the live streaming is good and bad because I like talking to people about it in real time, but definitely don't feel like I get as much done. But that's okay because plenty of time. So hopefully this will be ready for the fall too. So Nick, my plan is to make this a 3S build. I originally had Neo Rhinos, but I might switch. I just bought some Krakens, so I might switch to those after I test them out. So that way I can run it on 3S normally for like super stock, but then I can run it on 2S and it'll hopefully be HVZ legal for most of our games, or invitationals rather, because it's usually like 100 to 110. So I think this could probably qualify on a 2S. So, not that I normally like full auto blasters, but I don't know. Could be pretty fun. Use a Thunderhawk. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I like the Praxis. I'm glad Nick turned me on to the Praxis stock, though. This thing is very comfortable. I hadn't previously considered it, but after having one, it's very flimsy, but for integrations, it's pretty much a fantastic stock. Thanks. Then you could buy pieces for real. Buy pieces of a rail for key mods, barrel, e-bike, and stuff like tiny sections. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into the. Well, I want to finish the actual integration real quick. Or not real quick. It's going to take a while. But once I finish the integration, I can measure it out and see what kind of rail sections I need. And then it should be pretty easy. I think, like you said, they make a ton of different ones. So I'll have to shop it out because I would like to do ideally a rail from approximately here to the stock, like a long Picatinny rail, maybe a short one up here. I'm not sure if I want to put the little plastic insert back in here or not. I might just do another rail. And then I could do rails on the side too to sort of cover where the battery tray used to be. I want to cut about 3 to 4 inches off my arms and make the Thunderhawk perfect. Yeah, I haven't actually held the Thunderhawk, but it looks pretty neat. At least it's a cool shell to work with. So I think we're definitely making progress here. This will probably be my Merge Masters entry. Although then that means I have to go against Exiled, which means you're basically fighting for second at that point. So I'm not going to let that deter me, however. But I think this definitely would be a cool blaster to enter. If I can finish it. Although you have until December. So I hope I can finish it. I ideally would like it finished for August. Or like maybe in a month or so. At least so I would do it. Because I didn't realize how many people had already done exactly what I just did. And it's kind of boring, to be honest. Mr. Heath Pants posted an MK2 of his MPH 15 today. Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with that Nemesis now because I wanted to do something small, but now I am reconsidering how I want to go about it. Nemesis arm cannon, maybe. Although I don't think they posted a video about it, but one of the guys that went with the MTB group, I'm not sure if it was Alex or whoever, they literally it was like a big fist, and it had a Nemesis inside of it. It was really cool. It was basically like a Doomfist type of gauntlet thing, and it literally had a Nemesis inside of it, but you couldn't see any of it. It was pretty neat. Yeah. Oh, wait, are you talking about my Nemesis or you're building a Rapidstrike? My Nemesis and Hawkeye's thing or your Rapidstrike and my Rapidstrike? Yeah. No, that's why I was like, shoot, he's right. So let's see. If I want this to be up here, I'm going to have to... Let me... Probably put screws back in here. It would help a lot. Basically, I'm going to cut a little. So we'll start like maybe about there. But I got to start trimming back this section. Yeah, let me put some screws in here so that way I make it the right size. That would really stink if I made it too big or too small. Screws. I just had a bag of screws. Need a full keyboard. I've actually seen, it's probably not what you're talking about, but I've seen like things where you can like almost use your phone as like a docking thing, but I don't know how well that would work in practice. Throw another screw in here. See, I like this. We're turning out some good ideas this stream. Making it happen. So I'm going to start by just trimming that down because the issue is it's rubbing against these screw ports, but I kind of need these screw ports. So, because otherwise if I get rid of those screw ports, there's nothing between like here and like here. I guess that's not too bad, but I don't want to lose those two screw ports, especially if I'm putting rails on it, and that's approximately where the site will be. So Dremel warning. I want take Hawkeye large waffle dart. Put a stripe. I mean, I guess you could put like it'd be funny if you had like a blowpipe that was like a large Hawkeye dart. So I want to be careful that I don't chop off too much of this rail. Although I guess I could just chop off the whole thing and use it as a Picatinny slot. Just since I'm throwing a few Picatinny rails on here anyway, it might not make sense to have the one Nerf rail and a bunch of Picatinny rails. So I should probably standardize that, but we can worry about that later. Let's see. So in terms of Nerf Rapidstrikes, I've seen a few Bullpup Rapidstrikes. Bullpup last year seemed to be making not a comeback, but I've seen a few of them posted recently. However, I despise most of the things about the Rapidstrike. So a lot of people still sort of look, or pretty much just look like a Rapidstrike, but you move the handle. Whereas I want, so it's definitely been done before, but I think an integration of this many blasters is pretty much guaranteed to be unique, and I'm pretty much removing everything I don't like about the Rapidstrike. So one of the things I hate the stock, so I got rid of that, and that like bulky cheek rest thing is really ugly in my opinion. I'm just not a fan of a lot of the Rapidstrike stuff, so pretty much removing everything about it that makes it a Rapidstrike except for the good firing mechanism. So and that's also pretty cool. I had two lizards. I had a African fat tail gecko and another gecko. It wasn't spotted. I forget what the name of it was. Yeah, I could see Captain Xavier trying his piece on it. Let's see if that's enough. I'm probably gonna have to chop a little more, but it's getting there. I might just remove that whole thing and then just do a Picatinny rail. Oh, that was it. It was a leopard crested. I couldn't remember what the name of it was, but yeah, that one I got, and he was older, and I had him for about a year or so. But then I got not like a baby, but like a very young African fat tail, and then I had that one for a long time. Internal scope would be interesting. I got to see how the rail lines up. I'm not sure if there'll be room for a integrated one, but I might use the pretty much the same red dot sight that I used on my Caliburn. That's pretty. I guess with all the tactical rails, this is pretty much going to be a tactical build, but it's kind of guaranteed at this point. Let me fix. I'm going to fix the nubs on this here annoying me with lining it up. So I'm going to fix this side as well, like I fixed the other one. They had an exotic pet store that was like maybe 20, 30 minutes from my house. So I got them both at there. Actually, yeah, I have 2 or 3 new in-box Barons on my shelf, so that I thought about that distinctly. But I was trying to see if I could line it up such that the bottom barrels would basically be here. So you'd have the top barrel, which would be the Rapidstrike, and then maybe the bottom 2 here. But I might be able to trim that off, but it's not a terrible idea. Yeah, no, I don't know if I'd buy a lizard from like a PetSmart or something. But yeah, it was a specialized store, so they had a bunch of very cool animals, but those were better. From what I read, those were not too bad of like an introductory reptile. Kind of wanted to get a one of the water dragons, but they were a little more maintenance than I was ready for, so I didn't want to get one. Then same thing now. I'd like to. We have a dog now, but wouldn't want to mix the two. She's a lot of attention. Maybe I'll get another lizard in the future, though. But for right now, not planning on it. Oh, you meant the... Okay, so like the Baron directly down here, then. That could work, too. I gotta see how wide the Baron is, too, because it might be wider than this area. So I want to try to keep it fairly slim down here so that I can just transitions well. Because I think the... top with this rail will pretty much help me fix the thickness issue I was having and alleviate that. And then the bottom is pretty good. So don't want to mess that up too much. But I'll have to play around with the Baron idea. I think I actually have a shell for a Baron lying around somewhere. Where'd my wrench go? There we go. Oh. Yeah, Bearded Dragon, I've heard, was also a pretty good one. But yeah, going back and I think in terms of Bullpup Rapidstrikes, this one will be pretty unique. But I think when you make an integration with this many blasters, it's almost guaranteed to be unique anyway. Dremel warning. Yeah, that's one of the things that deterred me from getting one was they needed quite a bit of space, but they're really cool. So currently don't have any lizards, but maybe in the future. Yeah, the AccuFake or not? I always want to say AccuFake. AccuStrike blasters repaints are interesting. Like, the Rapidstrike pusher is good, obviously, but I have every version of the Alpha Trooper, but I don't really like the Alpha Trooper, so I probably have to get that one just to complete the collection. But yeah, they haven't made an EAT in a while. I'm hoping that they make an AccuStrike long shot, just because I don't want the long shot to disappear. Make one with a front gun. I'm cutting up too many front guns for this build. I don't know if my EAT was just a lemon, but the first one I got really didn't work very well, and I've sort of resented the blaster ever since. So, like I said, I might have just got a lemon. But haven't been a fan of the blaster since. Not enough PUBG going on. I'll hop on PUBG later. If you want to play. I don't know what time it is. 10 o'clock. Okay, Bobo. So here's what we got going on. We got the Bullpup Rapidstrike with the Raven handle, Crossfire Bolt, Centurion stock front piece. Going on top will be the long shot front gun to sort of follow the line and transition. And then I'm going to need a second section of the long shot front gun to sort of drag it back. So I'm going to cut up another one later. In the back, got a Praxis stock. Looks very comfortable. So once that other section's back here, it'll sort of transition a bit better into that. And then for the back, there'll be a plate that sort of goes from the stock to up here. Lipo storage will be back here. And then probably a flared magwell. And then I got to figure out what I want to do for a grip. And then Picatinny rail pretty much along the back from like whatever here to the back. And then maybe a short one in the front. And then, yeah, I'll probably throw it away and use my Strife that I used at Edmore. So. Screw the world of PUBG and Fortnite. I don't know. I've played too much PUBG, or not too much PUBG. I played a lot of PUBG recently, and it's a very fun game. In my opinion. I don't like Fortnite as much because I don't like the jumping around and stuff. Oh, okay. See you around. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck waking up early, and we could play PUBG again sometime. Just hit me up. Wow, that autofocus is jumping all around. Okay, where was I? We fixed that. Now we gotta go back to fitting on our top rail. I'm trying to see what I'm getting caught on so I don't trim up too much of the wrong stuff. It looks like right there in the front. Yeah, glad Bobo showed up as well. So yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just trying to get a idea before I start hacking up the wrong thing. But I think what I need to do is this front section is catching along there. So I got to trim the rail a bit more. So I want to sit right about. I'm going to trim a little back from what I need. So let's go up to there now, perhaps. Just want to be careful about not, although I think I'm going to end up trimming that off anyway because I'm going to replace it with a Picatinny, I assume. It would make more sense to have all Picatinny rather than just the small section of that anyway. So what the heck, we'll just trim it all off now. Just remember that what it appears to be, I guess, a big decision at whatever point in the long run probably isn't too bad. Super glue. Bow's front looks like an original. It's actually almost exactly the same thickness, which is kind of strange. Anyway, drum warning. Yeah, I think it actually might even, it's a very comparable color to the original green. Actually, let me go get my sanding block real quick and make this easier. I always forget this is like hot glued on too, so it's still a little loose. Actually, I could probably pull it off. Nah, I want to leave it. We'll leave it on for now. That'll make. Forgot to put the mic back on. Oops. Anyway, like I was saying, this is a little loose, just because it's only hot glued on the bottom. But I will worry about putting it together for real at a later point. I want to get all the parts together, which is, I guess, one of the benefits of doing it in this manner. Is that although it's kind of weak right now, it's easy to take apart, and then I can glue it together for real once I have all the parts figured out. One gives me a chance to graduate early, take a class or two for my career option on the other. Hands and removing it would be kind of like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Would only show the shadow of. Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough decision too, but I guess the only benefit to graduating early is you just go to college earlier. So, or what have you, if you want to go to trade school or whatever your option of choice is. So So I think trying to see what's getting caught on in the front. It's clearly getting caught on the back, so let me just fix the back a little more. Let's see how wide I have to put this thing. Yeah, let me gut this back section real quick, and then that'll make it a bit easier. Yeah, you and me both. Although it's going to take a while. But like I said, I'm hoping to have it done for maybe September. That's the only thing. These builds are a lot of fun. And I enjoy doing them, but they're just very time consuming. Let me do... Actually, is that far enough back, too? Yeah, I think that's far enough in. We just need to make this a little thinner. Dremel again. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wish it was 20K. We're at I've been stuck at 2K for a while, actually. So I don't know. I started posting more often, but it doesn't seem to be helping, to be honest. Most of the recent videos I've posted haven't been getting a ton of views anyway. But we will persist. I think one thing I might do is a lot of the videos I've been posting weren't like yeah, the production definitely. I got a new camera and I've been trying to focus on production quality for the last few months. But I think what I'm going to do is go back to more modding based content instead of more review type stuff, because that seems to be way more popular. Or at least the videos on my channel that are more popular are always like mod guides and stuff, and I've sort of veered away from that. So I think I'm going to go back more towards that, and then sprinkle in some of the other content. So we'll see. But yeah. Let's see. EAT comes with a stock. Yep. And the barrel attachment point, yes. Like I said, I haven't been the biggest fan of the EAT, just because I'm pretty sure mine was a lemon. So I'll give it a shot at some point. So. Oh, we're so close. Pirate tape a room into two sides. I don't know if I could recommend that, but it would certainly be an interesting decision-making option. Definitely unique suggestion. This is so close yet so far from fitting. But yeah, we'll see. What types of videos do you guys usually... I don't know if... I assume you watch my videos if you're here, but not sure what you guys prefer. Probably trim the top of the Rapidstrike too, since I will have something to cover that wheel area. Yeah, no, that's why I'm thinking I might go back to just making like mod guides and other stuff more exclusively. Like the review type stuff and the overview videos are cool and all, and they're easier to make, but I think the mod videos are definitely... Do you mean like videos talking about mods, or me showing you how I modded something, like step by step? Because I haven't done one of those in a while, and I think that would fare well. Oh, are you putting anything on the top rear side? Yeah, so for the top back side, I think I'm going to cut up another long shot front gun and just take this exact section and line it up here to bring it up towards the back. And then do a Picatinny rail across the top, and then it'll hopefully line up with my Praxis stock in the back. But can I do this? So that's my plan. I feel like this should fit. Why does it not? I feel like I could just chop this area off because I was trying to keep it so that I have a rough idea of where the top of the flywheel would be. But since this will be here anyway, I don't have to worry about the top of the flywheel clipping with the top of the rail. So I think I'm going to cut that down too. Yeah, this is basically, I know some people like to very elegantly sort of make sure all their stuff lines up the right way, but my workshop's more of a chop shop where I end up chopping up lots of stuff and then fixing it later. But that's more my style. Anyway, Dremel warning. Yeah, that's what I'm sort of thinking. I might do... I haven't done like tutorial-based modding in a while, but I feel like a lot of people kind of stopped doing that, which is maybe why I stopped doing that subconsciously. But I think those videos would do well again. They're a little more time-consuming to make, but like I'm filming one for my Hades as I go. I just started that today. So that'll hopefully be done when I finish the blaster. And then sort of maybe work in secondary. Like this one, there's no way I could film a mod along of this blaster. I don't see myself doing it because it's very time consuming and I really just want to work on it rather than film every time I work on it. So I think that the like updates and stuff might be a good sort of add along to that content. Plus, I want to post more than once a week, hopefully. So I'm thinking maybe like a mod update and then like a mod video, or like a review and a mod video or something like that would be yeah, no, epoxy, sculpt, and the plastic welder literally are the pretty much how my blasters work. So I think I gotta chop this open a little wider. Although I guess I could just chop the green part away too. It'd be easier and it may be cleaner. So I realistically want it to be about there. So let me do like there for now. And then I really want that line to be clean. So that might be the best way to go about this. So if I take away that, I can just sort of sit it on top of here, and then I'll file that last piece away. Will avoid multi-cage this thing. It could fit a multi-cage, but I'm probably going to use it for HVZ where there's a lower FPS limit. So it would benefit from just having one more accurate cage. So like I said before, I'm probably going to 3S it. I had Neo Rhinos set aside for this because I didn't want to add a motor cover for 180s or 132s, I guess. But so I was going to use Neo Rhinos, but then I just bought the Kraken motors to test out. So if I like those better, I'll probably throw the Kraken motors in. Atlas and a Firefly. I just cut up a Firefly for this, but I ended up not using it. So, rip. Okay, we're going to cut again. Just got to shake out some of the plastic dust from this. The Firefly was cool. It's actually one of my favorite like blasters that I had as a kid. I remember when it came out. But So overall, I mean, I usually pick them up when I see them at thrift stores. The stock is one of the most comfortable in my opinion, which is why I originally tried to use it on this, but it just doesn't fit with the build. But yeah, it looks like wait, I missed a few messages. One sec. Yeah, you see them a lot of times at thrift stores. You should take some risks, do something no one has ever done because you're at the point where you need to do something no one likes. Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to try to start branching out and doing. Well, for one, I want to go backwards and do content that I used to do that got more views. So I think that would help. But in better quality, obviously, than I used to do. Because that's still what's actively getting a lot of views. And it seems like a lot of people don't make that content anymore. So better, because it's kind of hard to land it up accurately when it's wobbling like that. So yeah, thanks. It still is a lot of work, but I'm liking how it's developing a lot. About the Nitron, a lot like the Hades, better stock. Longshot stock's pretty comfortable in my opinion. I know some people don't like it. put a dab of hot glue back here. I need to get a new hot glue gun. The pusher on this one's pretty garbage. But I also broke my other one, so this is like the only one I have that works. And they're super cheap, so I should really just buy another one. Might have to buy 2 or 3 because I break them pretty frequently. Okay, stay still for a minute. Yeah, I want either an Rapidstrike or a battle camo long shot would be sweet. No, Mr. Nathan level stuff would be if I cut this all correctly the first time. Mine's more of a keep cutting until it works strategy. So right now I'm just using like a generic lav mic, but when I film the videos, I switch to a shotgun mic on my camera. So like right now this is a webcam. It's a Logitech 920. And then on my, wait, I have it over here actually. 1 second. So this is my main filming rig now. I just got the switch to the shotgun mic. 1 second, I gotta clip the lav mic back on. So this is what I've been filming with as of the last few videos. Canon SL2 is the body 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens with the whatever you call the plastic piece and the hood or whatever. And then it's a Tacstar SGC 598. I can read, I swear. But it's a pretty good, this mic is actually pretty cheap. It's like 25, 30 bucks, but it sounds really good. That was actually a recommendation from Bobo. I just picked it up. So the last few videos will be. A long strike would be interesting. I'd wish that they would make. I'd rather them just make a long shot. To be honest, I don't see them remaking the long strike with direct plunger internals. So unless they, I mean, they could. I've been wrong before, but I think it would make more sense for them to just make a long shot. Where am I getting caught? All right, let me glue these down. Add it. Let's see. Samsung whatever Pro, which is good for my use. Yeah, I mean, I only got that other camera recently. Up until then, I was filming on my phone and or a small action cam I had way back when. But I used my phone for a while. Stampede stock. Don't have much of a blaster collection. Yeah, that's one. I have a lot of like various other blasters, so I don't mind chopping up. Like, I have a few long shot front guns I could sacrifice to finish this. I want to keep at least one, just so I have a full set, but the rest of them I don't plan on using. It's sad the Centurion was chopped. Internals, I mean. Yeah, I wish they did a better job with the Centurion internals. Motors, right now I have MTB Neo Rhinos set aside for this, but I also just bought a bunch of Krakens via Out of Dart and Foam Blast collaboration motors. So I might try both and see which ones I like better. Actually, that'd be a good idea for a video. We can test Neo Rhinos against Krakens. That'd be interesting. I could do 3D print 2 of the same cages, Morpheus guides. Be real easy. Not sure if people are even interested in that. Let's see. The autofocus on this thing is kind of annoying, but it's also, I guess, good. Way better than my other. I just switched webcams to this other one, but it seems to work pretty well. Debating if I want to keep this other section, or I could, I mean, I don't have to do it right now, but I might just flat top it down to this line, get rid of all that stuff up here, like there and there, and just have a rail up there as well. Because I don't really need this section, but I want to see what it would look like. Probably keep this one single stage flywheels, just because I want to use it for HVZ and it's generally a lower FPS cap. Although I could pretty easily fit a double stage cage in here. So we're getting there. It's almost fitting exactly where I want. I think if I trim this area right here, then I could probably get it to fit. So we're gonna use the Dremel again real quick. Let's see. Knock some of those burrs off real quick. Not sure if I went deep enough on that cut. I think just barely not fitting. This is Apollo. I mean, this is, I've had the other Logitech. Wait, it's right over here. This was my old one. It was the like 500 and something. But I just switched to this one, which is a 920. I think it was like $50 or so. I think the quality is pretty good, and the autofocus seems to be fairly decent. So, I mean, I haven't looked at other brands, to be honest, so I can't really give you a good comparison, but so far I like this webcam. The quality seems kind of nice. I have good lighting in here, which also helps too, depending on, you know, where you're filming. You might need to get an extra light source, and that helps your video quality a good amount as well. Wish I could extend the Hades cylinder by about. You mean the like end cylinder? An Apollo laid on top for ergonomic comparison. Wait, I have a top of an Apollo. I'll be right back. Wait, you want it to hold more balls, or like you want to just have more chambers for the Hades? Really get to bed, gotta go to work in the morning. Okay, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. But there you go, pirate. Here's your hollow top. This needs to be inched forward like a hair. I want to keep a little bit of this nub just so that way the transition's fine and it gives me something to glue onto. I think I think it needs to be a little wider. Just like a hair on both sides. Okay, back to the Dremel. Okay, you just want to extend the length. Got you. Still chamber one ball, extended cylinder. Got you. I wasn't sure if you meant like holding multiple balls in the cylinder. I meant by expanded. What is your opinion on using real steel? I mean, as long as it's done in the right manner, I think using real steel stuff on Nerf is fine. Done tastefully, I guess is the right word. Because you don't want to make it look too realistic. Because after all, I mean, it is a toy. So. But. How does this not want to fit? Oh, wait, it's catching on. I have to drill this whole thing out a little further. Okay, more Dremel. Rice down Nerf. Okay, let's try this again. For like the 10th time. 10th time's a charm. Just gotta remove some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna, when I actually go to glue this blaster together, for real, instead of just hot gluing it, I'll clean up a lot of these stuff. Just want to get the profiles figured out before I do that. Oh, that's better. Perfect. Almost. Perfect. Near perfect. Why is it not? Wait. Lines up on this side, but not this side. Very strange. Very strange indeed. Okay, I like that. Glue it on. Just gotta see where I can glue it. Just like a dab up front. Dab back. Where's my marker? Where'd my Sharpie go? Yeah, I don't know. It seems like once you get past a certain point, your channel just sort of explodes. Oh, there it is. So. It is not something I'm an expert on, but definitely seems like once you get a certain number, you just kind of grow exponentially. Like I remember when, you know, having 20K was like, they don't even know who he is now. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I have a little more time on my hands now, so I can hopefully make more than either at least 1 or 2 videos a week. Might help out a lot with my channel. But I want them to be quality videos though, you know. Don't want to just spam stuff for the sake of having videos. I gotta hold this here for a second. Come on. Since normies need to get away. JK. Half JK. Come on. Just need this to glue to dry a little faster. Because otherwise it's just going to be me standing here for the next, like, minute or two. So how's everyone's day? I got to revert to, like, my go-to awkward questions while I stand here. But yeah, no, it definitely seems like people's channels explode. Polycarb tube for the Hades is 35. I mean, it's not a lot. What's up, Ben? Or Hawkeye? How's it going? I'm continuing my mic fall off. No, I think I'm just getting tired. Ugh. Yeah, that's true. It's pretty much dry though. Yeah. So tired. So this is my monstrosity blaster. Since you're just joining, Hawkeye, as you have seen this before. So the plan is, I just spent a while fitting this up, but I like how this sort of helps fill up the top and weird separation I had, and B, it lines up with the lines pretty well for this. So I'll have to fill it, which will be a pain in the butt, but I think I'm going to cut a second long shot front gun top and sort of drag this out into my stock. I'm going to use a Praxis stock now, and then we'll make a plate for down here. And then we'll flat top it, or it's already pretty much flat, but we'll do like a Picatinny rail from like the stock to here, and then maybe a second one down here or down here, but we'll see. Yeah, definitely. I'm making it work, but this is definitely a chop shop style build. It's not really like a planned build, as you obviously can tell by just looking at it. But it's definitely coming together more than I thought it would. So I really like the, we just added this stream, but I like the long shot front gun top. It really makes the profile a lot better, and now there's not a huge weird gap right here. So once I fix that and start filling it with putty, that should theoretically line up pretty well. And then we'll just have to do a little fabrication work for down here, but that's not a big deal. And then the bottom actually transitions pretty well as well. So it goes from wider. I just need something as like a grip, because the grip area up here isn't the biggest. It's quite small actually. If I put my hand on it, my pinky finger wants to go into the trigger, which is obviously no bueno. So I want to find something that's about the same thickness, that maybe will go from like about there to there. So it'll give me a little more something to put my hand on. I bet he watched how that Hawkeye 7 guy does this. No, I think mine's definitely a little less planned. But it's getting there. The thickness is relatively consistent now too, which is nice. So I don't have as many weird discrepancies. I really just need something to either transition this area a little bit better, and then a grip, and then I'll figure out how the stock works later. But one issue at a time. It's a Hawk Kid 007, if you've looked at his logo. Raider Rampage grip. That might work. I had this on before, but it really doesn't fit. It doesn't really fit the aesthetic I'm going for. But I had it because I obviously tore that apart. Whew. Excuse me. But yeah. I'll figure it out. That should be the motto for this build, is I'll figure it out later. Because that's basically what I've been doing for the past like couple weeks. So, but now that's good too, because the flywheel has space to go on top of the Rapidstrike. Yeah, that's what I spaghetti. Yep, go eat spaghetti. Yeah, no, that's what the only issue I was having was I didn't really start modeling mine. I just took it apart. But when I saw, anytime you try to print like a clamshell design for that, it's obviously not printer friendly. So I was going to try to make mine a little more printer friendly, but I obviously haven't started yet. So yeah, always eat spaghetti. Let's see. I think I'm going to lose the jam door. That's unfortunate. Because if I put that other long shot front gun section up here, I will definitely lose that. Hey, it's always spaghetti time, man. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to end up losing the... Because there's no point in having the actual jam door piece in here now. but there's going to be that rail running like just on top, so I might as well just cover it up because yeah, that's the problem is I want the jam door, but like if I get that other section of the rail to fit back here, it's going to be so tight that I probably won't be able to fit my hand in there. Plus, if I want to pick a tinny rail, I can't really carve into this. Yeah, it's true. I guess I can make it slide. Or I could put a jam door on the side, perhaps. I don't know. That's an option. Yeah, no, that could work. That might be a good option, actually, because I am very concerned about this jamming, especially with, you know, a fairly significant barrel length. Or non-negligible barrel length, I should say. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, though, because I have to do some work on the sides anyway, because I need to fill those in, so I could definitely put in something. I actually picked up a Rampage a little while ago that had a broken bolt sled, so that might be a great opportunity. HPA. I think I'm a little too far gone, the HPA, this one. But, you know, anything's possible with the amount of stuff that I've done with this blaster so far. Yeah, no, that'd be kind of cool. Maybe do like a charging handle and a on the one side would be kind of neat. I have a lot of room in the shell too, with the exception of right here, which is pretty much right in the way of where the thing. So for paint, I have to see what I want to do, but I'm thinking some like yellow, black, and silver, perhaps, and then do like sort of a worn look because that'll obviously help. Doing a dry brush. Lag. Yeah, I like the idea of a side jam door now, but then that's like another blaster I have to. Whatever, man. At this point, I don't care how many blasters I cut apart for this. I just want to keep it going. We need more blasters for the blaster god. So we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll probably be 7, 8, 8 or 9. Yeah, we're definitely punching above the normal integration level at this point. Top oriented though. Line up with the long shot. Yeah, maybe. Although that's true, I could do a that would definitely impede on rail space, but I could do a jam door on top, or maybe even like up here, sort of like it's upside down. But, so maybe even because let's say it's this tall, I have this whole area that basically doesn't, or I could use for that because then it'll give me room to put like a return spring and maybe a charging handle up here. And that way I can, you know, charge it forward, opens the jam door. That might be cool. Or I could just do a smaller one, but with magnets. So where you just slide it forward, it locks into a position and then slide it back. Break action, yeah, that's I'll just bandsaw right down the middle. And then put a little like machine screw, and then we're good to go. It's like a 5-second break action mod. Yeah, I'll bring it over into my bandsaw. I'll chop it right there, and then I'll drill press right through the section, and then we'll slap like a machine screw through it, and we'll be good. Carriage bolt or something. Yeah, eat the spaghetti. Oh, okay. So like a cyclone shock slide thing. So that would be sort of your, so it slides back, I guess. And then that opens your jam door. That'd be cool. Now I'm kind of debating if I want to put the jam door on the side or on the top. Because I definitely want to add one. But like I was saying, if we basically, we're just going to take the same section of the long shot front gun from here and then put it back here. So that way we can sand it and it'll basically be the same cross section. And that'll work really well. And that's a nice and easy flat top. And then after that, that gives me plenty of room to put a charging handle if we wanted to go that route. Yeah, but you also live in Texas, so it's hot as this. It's hot there all the time. Think the opposite, but for me, it's like almost freezing the whole year. It snows 100, I think over 100 inches every year where I go to school. Yeah, okay, so I was the coldest I've ever. One time we had school and it was negative, like with wind chill, it was negative 37. And they sent an email like, don't expose your skin for too long, you'll get frostbite. See you in class. So I have the opposite problem. But yeah, it's like whatever. Like it snows like between, I think my freshman year, it snowed 132 inches. It was pretty disgusting. But other than that, it's okay other parts of the year when it's not freezing. Oh, wait, let me put a little more glue. This is kind of wobbly. But I kind of like the idea of the side bag or whatever you want to call that jam door thing, because then that still is easy enough to reach in and clear, because the cage will be sitting right around here, feeder will be right there, so if it jams it'll be like probably right around here, so having a jam door right there. So if we could just average the two temperatures, then we'll both be good. I think that's how that works. Probably 3-switch. I gotta try. Actually, so I got one of the out of darts things that is pretty much just a ripoff of Ben's thing, actually. But I got one for the Raven, so I could put one for the Rev trigger. But I can't use a Rapidstrike. It might be me too. I'm streaming on like a pretty bad laptop. But anyway, it is entirely possible that it is my setup. Although that's one thing, when I move back into school, I can use my real computer to stream, which will be nice. But for right now, actually I might wrap up soon anyway. I'm kind of tired. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Come on, try faster. Anyway, what I was talking about, I'm not gonna lie. But oh yeah, I can't use a Rapidstrike switch plate, but I might see if I can chop one up or edit the files for one. I only really need the switch mounting for the excuse me, back of the Rapidstrike section where the pusher is, because that's the only like difficult place. Come on, try faster. So 3-switch. That's good. It's definitely coming along pretty well. That's definitely got to be lined up better when I glue it together for real. But it has a lot of prep work that needs to be done before then. Okay. I don't know, probably wrap it up pretty soon. So if you guys have any last questions, probably need to go gather some more stuff. So another long shot front gun I know I have somewhere. And then I got to check through my pile of stuff to see what kind of stuff I could use as a grip up here. So I'm going to do a few more dabs of hot glue just to hold this thing together while I play around with it some more. But if you guys have any last questions, start asking them now. And we'll wrap up. Let's see. Could use that right now front gun for naked display for the ammo. Yeah, I could. Not sure. So I think I might. I kind of want to put an ammo counter on this, but I don't know if I do, to be honest. I feel like that's been done a lot, but it's kind of cool. I have one, but I could put it on the rail actually on one of the sides, but I just need to make somewhere for it to plug into because it obviously doesn't have a barrel attachment now. So thanks for the offer, but I mean, I have probably too many blasters right now anyway. Plus shipping is usually a pain for blasters because of the size. But thank you for the offer. There are there's definitely like if you were interested in selling stuff, you can there's a lot of different places you could do that, like Reddit or Facebook pages and stuff like that, if you're actually trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. Yeah, no, I appreciate the suggestions, but I'm trying to see where I have an ammo counter with a, I believe, right-hand side, so I can, if I was planning on putting Picatinny rails on these sections, on the shell, as well as the tops. So I might figure out some way to put an ammo counter. But I would just need something like either a Dean's connector or an XT60 to plug into the shell, so that way when I wanted to take it off, I could put it on. But not sure if I want to go that route or not. I could always leave like a tube open or something in this gap. So yeah, I think we made pretty good progress this stream. I like how that's looking. Like I said, it's very rough still. I'm just trying to get the profile that I want, and once I have all the pieces cut in a rough shape, I'm going to completely disassemble it and glue it back together for real. So the alignment's not too important right now. We can fix that as we go. So we got the extra front gun, the stock, and then I think we'll be in pretty good shape in terms of our rough profile. And then we have to take it apart and start doing a lot of prep work. Like I need to make areas to fill in all this jazz and something for a grip. But anyway, so like I said, if you guys have any last questions, ask them now. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up in a few minutes. Pretty much accomplished everything that I wanted to this stream. So yeah, if you ever go to any event after this is done, I will be happy to oblige. I'm trying to think of, I mean, obviously I try to go to a lot of the big ones, but yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap up for today. So thank you to everyone who stopped by. I appreciate it. Be putting out some more videos. I think I have a testing one coming out on Wednesday. Then I'm going to work on my 80s and some other blasters. So if you guys are interested, check those out. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have an awesome day, and thanks for watching.